Hi guys, I'm Laura Madden. Welcome to ReFashionTalk Live. This is my rather newly released IG Live series, ReFashionTalk Live, where we talk all about using fashion for good, using fashion to make you feel good, using fashion to do good for the planet, and using fashion in a way that also wears off really good on the people around you. So thank you for being here, guys. I'm really loving doing these, and I don't know, it's just a lot of fun for me. I've always loved talking and always loved speaking, and strangely always really love speaking on camera. But I don't know, this is really fun, and I guess I have the pandemic to thank. Being stuck at home forced me to hear the call that this is a part of myself that I'd really not been, I hadn't really been honoring for a while. I used to do a lot more speaking and had a seriously active YouTube channel years ago, and was, for a short time, worked as a co-host on a home shopping channel, and, you know, have done like, you know, speaking and here and there for events and stuff. But, you know, I just hadn't really been focusing on that. I've been doing more writing, and I realized, man, I just cannot sit and write anymore. I just cannot sit and write. I need to be like at least sitting and speaking, sitting and speaking and using my hands. But thank you for being here. I just love this so much. And I even love this if no one is out there listening to me, and that's fine, because I am gonna do it anyway. And I'm doing it whether I get paid or not, and I'm not getting paid to do this, and I'm doing it anyway because I love it. And I feel like maybe, just maybe, there's some way here that I can have an impact, have a positive impact, and I can make a difference and maybe uplift someone's day, maybe brighten someone's day, and if nothing else, bring some entertainment with my rather unnecessary outfits, which I'll talk about in a moment. So, hey guys, Isabel, it's so good to see you. It's been so long. Hey, Wonder Wendy, it's so good to see you. Thanks for being here, guys. So, anyone have any questions or any topics or something you would like me to speak upon, please use that question mark at the very bottom of your screen there, so it'll pop right up and I won't miss it. Yeah, and after this, so guys, anyone, if you are new here, the ReFashionTalk Live is every Monday and Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm right here. This is where you can find me. Every Monday and Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So these all go on my YouTube channel. My goal is to keep them short and sweet, and today I think I will get there. But some of them do go on my IGTV, but I have to cut them down to 15 minutes. So it sometimes just runs into a lot more work and time, you know, sitting and editing and all that stuff than I'm really up for right now. But nevertheless, all of these ReFashionTalks Lives, you can find every single one on my YouTube channel, in case you want to go back. We've had some really heated discussions. So yeah, thanks for being here, guys. Overy Junction Market, what's up, Rhonda? It's so good to see you. So let me see, last Monday, I dressed for the first Monday in May, which would have been the Met Gala, and I just had so much fun dressing in the most ridiculous manner with my crown in like so many layers of stuff, and it just felt so damn good. Seriously, I just love dressing. I don't know, just the unnecessary aspect, feel, vibe of it just makes it so much more fun. And the fact that I'm sitting at home here in my closet in Arizona, dressed like would maybe my feeble attempt at showing up at the Met Gala. Still, it was so much fun. If you saw my live last Friday afternoon, I did another happy hour art tour here at my home, and I dressed a little bit more extra for that as well. It was so much fun, guys. And if I'm gonna host a happy hour, you bet your butt I've got a cocktail dress on and I have a cocktail in hand, and I did. I showed up and I did. So this Friday, we're gonna be back again for another art tour happy hour, and I promise this one will be shorter than the last 2 weeks, I promise. And then I have a real cool surprise coming on Saturday. I have something in collaboration with the Garment League. Their On Central event was supposed to be rescheduled for this Saturday, the 16th. And of course we can't do that. And so it's all gonna be virtual. And I will be doing something really cool and fun. So please stay tuned, stay close to my stories. I'll be putting a post in my feed when all the details are ironed out. So let me see, what do I wanna say? Last thing about this type of stuff is at noon Pacific Standard Time. Right after this, I'm going to be doing a live art demo in my art studio, which is here, thank goodness. So I will not be dressed in this. Anyone who's tagged along, I do change into my art clothes. And so at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time, I will be doing an art demo right after this. And that's every Monday and Friday. Now, Friday, it was a little hotter than today. I think it was 102, 104. And I don't have AC in my art studio, so it got hot. I mean, it got a little uncomfortable. I was starting to feel like a little bit nauseous, like in my head. I don't know if you guys ever have experienced that, like when, maybe it's more of an Arizona thing, but like when the heat starts to get to you and you get like feeling a little sick in your head, that's what it was starting to feel like. So I'll see how much I can do today. It is a little bit cooler. Isabel, get up, dress up, show up. Yeah, girl, that's why I'm doing it, because it puts me in go mode. Yes, thank you. Isabel, are the ReFashion shops open yet? You know what? I'm not sure yet. What do you mean by ReFashion shops? Can you elaborate? Do you mean consignment shops? I'm not sure what you mean. I do not have I don't have my own shop. It's just a blog and some art. That's it. And these lives, but I do not have a shop. So let me know, Isabel, if there's a specific shop. Drink lots of water. Yes, thank you. I'm trying. So, all right, guys. So I want to share something. So the last two lives, actually, I really kind of went off the handle on the whole fast fashion situation. And like I said before, that's like one of those topics I kind of like skirt around, but I shouldn't, because I feel very strongly about it. But I get very heated. It's a very loaded topic, and it's just one of those things like fast fashion. You know, they use factories that really, they don't do right by their workers by any means. There's abuse, there's slave labor, there's child labor, and it's just a mess. And so please don't support fast fashion. If you're not sure what fast fashion is or what brands or stores qualify for being a fast fashion brand, you can DM me, or always recommend Remake. You can follow Remake here on Instagram. It's at Remake Our World. And that's an organization I work closely with. I'm a global ambassador. I'm on their board, and they are an amazing resource. They're an amazing resource. They vet brands. And so I really highly recommend you check them out. Oh, Isabel, Goodwill consignments. Yes, they are open. Goodwill has been open for weeks now. And I think they're continuing to open more stores. And TBC consignment in Scottsdale, they opened on Friday. Yes. And my sister's closet is open, and I don't know about any of the others. But yes, and you know, if in doubt, just give a ring. But definitely Goodwill is open. They sure are. So guys, something I shared that's been very therapeutic for me, I know I've talked quite a bit about it, is getting dressed. Through this whole thing from the start, well, I had probably like a week where I was like in my yoga pants and t-shirt for, you know, like a couple days here and there. And that felt so crappy. I felt like, well, I mean, that's just not me. That's not me to get up and just not get dressed. It's not me. And I felt if I'm not getting dressed, it's easier for me to sit on the couch longer. Nothing wrong with sitting on the couch, but I found I was just kind of lingering there. It's easier for me to put off until tomorrow what could be done today. And that never feels good, you know? And I can't say I'm really on this whole like necessarily productivity pandemic thing. I feel productive by getting up and getting dressed every day and getting dressed to feel good. You know, I get dressed for me and for this, of course. I'm not going to show up here with my t-shirt and workout clothes on, but you know, I'm doing whatever I can to stay in the joy. And I put up a post on my ReFashioned Art Instagram, my art page last week, about staying in the joy. And I really believe whatever we can do for each of ourselves to stay in the joy, to stay fulfilled, we are going to be the best we can be for those who are actually truly in need. And there's so much despair out there right now. There's so many people in despair and are way worse off than I am. My heart breaks for them. But I feel like the best thing we can do for people who happen to be depressed and or in despair is to not be one of them. If there's anything we can do about it, don't be one of them. And again, I know I'm kind of treading on murky waters here because there's a lot of people hurting right now, and I'm not taking that lightly. But whatever we can do to fill ourselves up and to stay strong, to stay mentally sharp, we are going to be the best able to be strong and of aid to them. And I know it might sound silly, but you know what? This is what works for me. I get dressed. It puts me in go mode. It's like taking control of my day, and that's kind of where the crux of it is, whatever that word, that's the basis of it. I feel like I'm taking leadership of myself and of my life and of my day. And it just sets the tone, it just sets the tone for the rest of the day. So thanks, Rhonda. I know you believe it too. Yes, and it is true. And again, I mean, for the most part, I'm not talking about doing anything special. I know I've shown up here in cocktail dresses. I know I wear a goofy, funky cocktail outfit for my happy hour lives, but I want to put on a show. That's fun for me. But for everyday life, just put on something, a t-shirt and jeans that you love, maybe a necklace that you love, a pair of earrings that you love. And Rhonda, I got to tell you guys, check out Redemption Market because I will give you some credit, Rhonda. And Rhonda is the founder owner of Redemption Market. It's an ethical boutique. They are online, so anyone can shop them. You don't have to be here in Arizona where they're based. But early on in this, they sent out an email just sharing, what was going on with them. A lot of the artisans that they, whose crafts they sell were really hurting in countries like Haiti, one of the poorest countries. And so I was like, I really want to support a brand that I care about and that I want to do well. And I went through their website and have so much amazing jewelry, you guys. The jewelry, I just love it so much. So I bought this beautiful gold toned chain link necklace and a bracelet to match. I wore those two pieces every day, and I still wear them all the time, but I wore them every day for like 2 or 3 weeks straight. It was like that little touch of sparkle, that little touch of gold. No matter what t-shirt and jeans I was wearing, it just made things feel a little bit more special. So for you, it might be lipstick. For you, it might just be like putting your hair up. Just the littlest thing, guys, whatever sparks joy, just do it. Do it. The littlest thing. It doesn't have to be a big thing. And that's where I'm at. I just feel like it's so easy for me to go down that rabbit hole of just feeling like, what am I doing with my life? This whole thing is so crazy. I'm going to be starting from zero, starting over again once this thing is normal and we go back to normal, but I just can't let myself go there. So I want to keep my momentum of doing something that feels good, and I really hope that you will too. So I love clothes. Everyone probably knows that, but getting dressed for me, there's a little more of like a spiritual, esoteric, psychological connection where it kind of like turns me on and it turns my engine on, fuels me up so I'm ready to go. And it's working. So I hope you'll try it too. Another thing I really want to encourage people, and I know I'm dressing a little bit crazy right now, and I'll tell you more about this outfit in just a sec. Experiment with your fashion. Like, this is the best time to experiment with your fashion. If you have that crazy top or that crazy pair of pants or even a purse that you haven't used in a long time, or it feels like a little bit out of your comfort zone, wear it, use it. This is the time, because we're like in one of those weird, crazy, vortexy time periods where anything goes. If you're going to the grocery store, gas station, wherever you're going, or if you're on a Zoom call, stretch yourself, stretch your comfort zone. It actually feels really good. So, what am I wearing today? So this top, I love this metallic top. It like shines bright. Like, it's kind of nuts how it grabs the light. So this was a Goodwill find. This is a tank top. And then on top of it, I have this thing. If anybody knows what this is called, please type it in the comments or DM me, because I don't know what this is called, but I love it. I got it at a clothing swap. It's got these like suspenders with a skirt attached to it, but it's not exactly a skirt you could wear alone. It's just like a little too short, or at least for my 40-something-year-old body, it's just a little too short. So I have to wear another skirt or pants under it. But so it's like a top with suspenders, but you have to wear a top under it with a skirt, but you have to wear a skirt under it. So if anyone knows what that's called, please type it in. Thank you, Bill. You're so sweet. Hey Ludi, so if anyone knows what this garment is called, let me know. I love it. And again, this was from a clothing swap, which is just a really great way to socialize with a bunch of girlfriends, get together, have a little party. Everyone brings clothes that they no longer want or need. And it's a great way to participate in sustainable fashion, that circular economy, circular fashion. Giving life to a new life. One man's trash is another man's treasure. It's happened so many times to me. And then this awesome necklace, I wore this on Friday. It's heavy. It's actually really hot. It's warm because it's heavy. It's metal and I just love it. And then I put this little thing over it. And then, I just love bracelets so much. And these are just old things, mostly thrift store finds I've collected over the years. Today was one of those days, I don't know, I was really just kind of dragging, just feeling tired, exhausted. So this was one of those days where I know everyone says, before you go out, take one piece off. Well, today was one of those days where I actually put one piece on. I added more and I actually put two pieces on. So yeah, it's one of those days, but it feels good. It wakes me up, it lifts me up. I just love jewelry, something about just that decorative aspect of it. So guys, the other thing with fast fashion that I just want to reiterate that I mentioned the last two lives is a lot of people get dragged into fast fashion things, H&M, Zara, Mango, American Eagle, Forever 21, these type of places. The good deal. It's a good deal. People think it's affordable fashion. And yes, it got me too. I used to shop at those places too. But what I want to say is question that good deal, guys. Question that good deal because someone somewhere is paying for it. Clothing is one of those industries that strangely has not increased with inflation. It's one of the only industries that has not increased with inflation. How does that happen? How is that possible? Well, the problem is the brands, the factories that make our clothes are not paying the garment workers what they're worth. They're barely paying them a living wage. In many cases, they're not paying them a living wage. In many cases, they're not paying the minimum wage. But the really tricky thing is a lot of these countries where a lot of the factories are located, Bangladesh, Cambodia, Indonesia, the labor laws are very murky. They're very loose. So it's what is minimum wage? What is full-time versus overtime? And a lot of these people are working in really, really dangerous working conditions, very poor working conditions, extremely hot. They're exposed to chemical agents that no one should be breathing in, and they're not paid a living wage, and they're forced to work extremely long hours. That's really dangerous. So that's the thing about fast fashion, and that's why I say question that good deal. There's someone somewhere paying the price. And I hate to, I love getting on here and spreading the good news and spreading positivity and uplifting news, but this is one of those things we all need to be in the know of. We all need to be aware of what's happening with a lot of these fashion brands. And right now, a lot of these brands are actually not even paying the factories. So the garment workers aren't even getting paid. If you want to learn more about that, please head to Remake, at Remake Our World here. They do have a petition. It's called the Pay Up Petition, and they are putting pressure on the brands to pay the factories so they can pay the garment workers, and a lot of them are, so which is, that's really cool. Things are happening, things are moving, but we need to speak up, and please go sign that petition if you haven't yet. But that's the thing, we're uncovering the truth here of what's really happening with the fashion industry. When I first found out about this, it was really by accident. It was from watching a documentary called The True Cost. It was July of 2015, and I was totally knocked off kilter. I was totally dumbfounded. I had no clue there was anything to question happening in the fashion industry. But it's a serious thing. And by learning the truth, this highlights the importance of supporting brands that are doing good. So Redemption Market, who I mentioned earlier, they looked through the comments earlier. Redemption Market, are you still on here? Rhonda, I'm not sure, but just go through the comments. If you scroll up, Redemption Market, you can find their handle here. And so they're an ethical boutique. So they source from a lot of artisans that make handmade jewelry, handmade wares, as well as other brands that They are ethical. They are taking care of their garment workers. They are taking environmental measures to do good for the planet. So this is why it's so important. Last Friday, we had 2 brands that I wear, 2 local American-made brands. Tessa Louise in Minneapolis, she was on here. I have one of her jumpsuits, amazingly made clothes, amazingly made. And then Sarah Liller, she's based in San Francisco. I have a couple of her pieces. Again, beautifully made clothes. So, and their garments might cost a little extra than going to Forever 21 or Urban Outfitters, but it is worth the extra fraction of a cost. It is worth it. I know not everybody has that disposable income to spend more on clothes, but I'm telling you guys, it's worth it. Buy less, buy better. The planet needs your help, the garment workers need your help, and it just feels good to wear clothes that actually feel good, clothes that are well made. So that's one of those things I just kind of go off. But again, guys, please just do your research. If you're unsure, DM me. I'm here to share resources. Again, Remake is a resource, and some of these brands that I just mentioned, ask them, where are your clothes made? What are your environmental practices? Ask them, what are you doing to be more sustainable or ethical or responsible? Ask people, ask the brands questions. And if they're a straight up brand and if they're transparent, they're gonna tell you. And those are the brands that I stand behind for sure. Again, secondhand, I know I talk about it all the time. I know I post my 100% used looks all the time. And today this actually happens to be one of them. But secondhand is another way to partake in sustainable fashion, and I do believe it is the most sustainable fashion because the resources have already been used. So we're keeping clothing in circulation that has already been created. We're keeping it from landfill. You're conserving resources, and you're just giving a second life or a third life to something that could have easily been sent to landfill, sitting in the trash, which is doing no good there for the environment or for anybody. So secondhand is another way we can partake in sustainable fashion, and I do a lot of that, and I love it. I'm actually having a ton of fun, and I don't think my style is suffering any bit for it. I really don't. And I actually think shopping secondhand is a great way to refine your style, because you walk into those stores and there's a little bit of everything. You get to really pick and choose and see what lights you up, what grabs your eye. Yes. So, hey, Louisa. Hey, Boone. PC83. Thanks for being here, guys. So yeah, experiment with your fashion. Experiment with your fashion. Have fun. Play. Again, being creative, those things, it helps to lift us up. It helps to make us feel good. And again, it's going to help us to utilize things we maybe, that we're maybe collecting dust or that we weren't otherwise utilizing. And that feels good too, to actually wear what we have. And I know what it feels like to be one of those girls with a closet or 2 or 3 full of clothes with nothing to wear. It doesn't feel good. So, yes, get dressed in something that you love. Get dressed for you. Get dressed to impress you and only you. Experiment with your fashion. Have fun. And ditch fast fashion. That's number 3. Number 3 lesson of the day, ReFashionTalk Live. Those are my 3 lessons for the day. I know I'm trying to keep this under a half hour. Some reason it never quite happens. It never happens. It's like this time vortex once I sit here in front of this camera. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys for listening here. I love this. Slow fashion. Louisa. Yes. And guys, Louisa's on here. She's a blogger. She's another great resource for ethical, responsible brands. Living_Ananda. She's right here in the comments, guys. So just go through the comments. You can find her handle. Follow her. She's another resource. There are influencers and bloggers that are doing good and that I stand behind. And I am technically an influencer. I will forever be looking for another word to describe what I do, but because I'm definitely not that typical influencer, that's for sure. I don't want to sell anybody on anything that they don't really need, want, or are going to use. So I'm definitely not your typical influencer. And but at the end of the day, it's what I do. I share content that, I intend to influence how people, shop and spend their dollars and vote with their dollars and how they can participate in sustainability and making this a better world and using fashion for good. So I know that's not your typical influencer. If anybody has another word for what, for an influencer, please put it in the comments or DM me. I would love to know. So, all right, guys. So that's it for today. I'll be back on Friday as well, right here, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm going to go into a little bit more styling. I was going to talk a little bit more about that today, but I'm not going to sit here for an hour and waste your time. I know no one wants to sit here and talk to me, although I do try and make this somewhat entertaining with all of these things. I just love old, shiny things. Yes. Restyle, reuse, repair. Guys, it's fun and it is creativity and it really does stimulate style. I feel like it instills style. And okay, oh yeah, last thing. If anyone knows what this suspender with a skirt thing is called, please let me know. I want to know what that is called. Following your steps. Oh, thank you, Louisa. I'm so happy we're connected. And we will meet in person one of these days, for sure. So guys, see you right after this for my live art demo on my art page, which is at ReFashioned Art. Don't forget, mark your calendar this Friday. Again, we're gonna do a happy hour, another happy hour art tour in my home here. That's gonna be 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And stay close because I have a collaboration with the Garment League for the On Central event. It's happening virtually this Saturday, May 16th, which happens to be a very special day for me, and I'll tell you why later. But let me see. That's it for now. Also, follow Redemption Market, you guys. Check them in the comments. You can find their handle. They're an ethical boutique. Another great resource. And when this goes on my YouTube and when I post afterwards, I will share the brands and organizations that I mentioned, because I really, part of this whole thing is with using fashion for good is promoting the people who I feel are doing it already and are gonna help you do it too. So stay tuned, guys. Thank you so much for being here. And until next time, have a fabulous day. Show me your outfit. Tag me if you're getting dressed. Put it in your stories, and I'll post the full look a little bit later today. I hope you like it. I know it's a little bit out there, but